Live from FedEx Forum, this is The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello, good people! Welcome to The Odds Couple, Chapter 6, Week 27 of the program. Glad you are with us. We got a big show for you today. It is our 6th annual Oscars Spectacular.
Extravaganza.
Yes, we got that for you here today. And but also, we have some basketball to talk about, some college basketball, some great SEC action last night and on Tuesday, and then a big weekend, of course, in the Southeastern Conference. Some teams that are very bubblicious. We'll talk about those. Also, the Tigers got a big game coming up, as well, everyone's a big one for the Tigers. They got UAB this weekend, so we'll get into that. We got free picks at the end of the show today as well. But first, let me introduce the cast for today's program. To my left, Lang Whitaker. Hello, Lang.
Hey.
I'm glad you dressed up for the Oscars show.
Oscars, our annual Oscars Spectacular Extravaganza.
That's right. Yeah.
You wore your movie shirt.
I wore the only movie shirt that I have, I believe. So this is the one.
I had a Star Wars one. I almost went with that.
Yeah.
But I thought I would try to class it up a little bit.
Yeah, well, thanks. John Roser is in the house.
I am.
Today.
I'm here.
Hello, John. How are you?
Hello, Rob. How are you?
I know you're always excited about the Oscars show.
Sure. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, and because
We tried to give Roser the day off.
we tried to give
We tried.
Russell
We
the
honestly
day.
CJ was like, not so fast, my
Yeah,
friend.
but CJ, hold my beer.
Next year, I vote that Bennett takes my spot here because Bennett sees
I
all
didn't think
these
about
movies
that.
too.
Yeah, that's
Bennett's
true. We
into
could do
the
Yeah,
that.
Bennett knows all these movies.
Well, because we don't, but we want to give you the odds on Best Picture, Best Actor, Actress, Supporting Actor, Actress, all that good stuff, and tell you if you're betting the Oscars, who you should bet on. We decided we'd bring in an expert today. And joining us, it is the host of the Jessica Benson Show with
Why'd you
CJ
laugh?
Hurt each and every morning here
Jessica
on Grind
laughed.
City Media. Jessica Benson is with us. Hello, Jess.
I am expert. I am dressed up. I have no movie shirts.
We're black, all black.
Yeah, we're all black. And my best glasses.
How are
When
you?
you get me after 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm good.
This is nap time, isn't it?
I'm good. I'm so excited that it's Oscar season.
Yes. When is nap time for you?
I mean, I woke up 20 minutes ago.
These are
Oh,
two-
so it's
these
right
are-
after the show's nap time?
It depends on what my day looks like. Sometimes it's the 12 to 2 range.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the 2 to 4 range. Sometimes it's the 2 to 5 range.
Is it always a range, though? It's always a nap day?
Every day's a nap day.
Well,
Actually,
you're speaking to a nap aficionado, Rob Fisher here.
Yeah.
I have to have my nap, but I haven't been able to take a nap all week. I've had a really busy week, so I wanted to make sure I just squeezed in a little 20-minuter before this show, so I'd
Good.
be,
A quickie.
and then I got my nice little Diet Coke to get some sugar in.
All right. Well, we're happy to have you.
Not
Thank you
sure.
very much for joining
I'm
us.
thrilled. Sometimes I listen to you guys while I nap.
Get out of
Yeah,
here.
I know.
thanks.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Ultimate
that.
compliment.
Yeah. I sleep through your show most weeks.
Yeah, but it's so peaceful.
You know, this is one of my $1 million ideas for a. Let me just give it out for free on the show.
Uh-oh.
For a sleep machine,
Okay.
a sports sleep machine. So in
Oh.
the background, it just plays so you could have different settings. Golf, and in the background you hear birds chirping. Every once in a while a swing. You know, no crowds, but the things that are quiet about golf. Then you have tennis, just like the light shoes squeaking, the ball. Soccer. Just like that kind of, the dull murmur in the back
Cleats
of
on
soccer.
grass.
Yeah, like I think
A
this
sports sleep
a
machine.
sports sleep machine.
I like that. You don't need white noise or gray noise or brown
Yeah.
noise. You need golf noise.
And it's $1 a download.
Okay. That seems cheap.
I think we make it happen.
Yeah.
I like it. We need to find somebody.
I think
to
if I
figure
say
out.
it on the air, that copyrights it. So,
Yeah, that's true.
So that's my idea. Don't steal it like you did ESPN. Don't steal this like you did Who Said It.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's our weekly segment. They started doing
I know.
now.
It's my favorite segment on your show, and I wish that we had thought of it first.
Well,
It's
now
very
ESPN
funny.
has a segment. ESPN has a segment called Who Said That?
Oh, they stole it from you.
Yes.
Yeah, completely.
Straight up.
I only get my Who Said That from the
Who
Odds
Said
Couple.
It is the odds couple.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well,
I
thanks.
appreciate that.
We appreciate
Can we also
that.
just, before we get into the show today, say rest in peace to Gene Hackman?
Yes,
It is
Good
our
time
Oscar
to do
show.
it.
that is. For the Oscar show, Gene Hackman, rest in peace for sure.
One of the great sports coaches of all time.
One of
in
the great
movie.
sports coaches.
Norman Dale
Yeah.
and Hoosiers and what a career that guy had. I was thinking about it today. You know, he was in The Godfather, Tom Hagen, and then he was Popeye Doyle. He was Royal Tenenbaums. He's had like
French Connection.
a million
Lex
movies.
Luthor.
Yeah.
I was thinking on the way here, I was like, what all is Gene Hackman in? And then I could picture his face. And I thought to myself, so many movies. I don't know. I can't pick any out because there are so many that I feel like I've seen him in. I mean, everything that you just mentioned, yes. I can pick those out and throw those out for sure. And Royal Tenenbaums is one of my favorite movies as well. But it's he was everywhere.
He's like one of our legends.
Yes.
He's 95 years
95.
old. We lost 2 acting greats yesterday, and I will make her a great. Michelle Trachtenberg, who I grew up on. She was Harriet the Spy. First ever Nickelodeon VHS orange tape was
Eurotrip.
Harriet the Spy. Eurotrip. She was on Gossip Girl. She was also an Inspector Gadget. But all kinds of things. It was very sad. Only 39 years old. Ice Princess. Sorry, I will not have Ice Princess erasure on this movie show.
Yeah. Gene Hackman, favorite? Do you have a favorite?
French Connection or Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah. All right.
Tenenbaums or Hoosiers.
Yeah.
You
was
like
great.
Hoosiers?
Yeah, it was good. I
There's
mean,
2 kinds of people in this world.
I actually tried to show it to my
Those who
son.
like Hoosiers.
I tried to show it to my son about a year ago, and he did not like it.
Yeah.
Like, just couldn't get into it at all. He's great
That was
in it.
like me when my dad showed me Hoosiers. Yeah, I don't know why, but he is great in it. That's
He's-
the thing.
yeah, he's
Like,
good, and-
if you love Hoosiers or hate Hoosiers, I think the common sentiment is, yeah, but no matter what, Gene Hackman's really awesome in that
Oh, he's
role.
great. Old school basketball coach in that. South Park ruined Gene Hackman for me, though.
Why?
Because they had him as Lex Luthor. They had a Superman storyline, and Christopher Reeve in the South Park storyline was stealing fetuses and eating them for stem cells. And Gene Hackman's character was trying to stop him, and Christopher Reeve just kept yelling, "Hackman!" So that's all I can think about when I think of Gene Hackman is just yelling, "Hackman!"
Rest in peace, Gene
Rest in
Hackman.
peace, Gene Hackman. We interviewed him on the show years ago.
Gene Hackman?
Yeah,
That's
years
amazing.
ago. Yeah,
Really?
he had a book.
He he has so many good lines on Royal Tenenbaum that Royal Tenenbaums as Royal Tenenbaum, but anyway, he's amazing.
Yeah. All right. SEC basketball, the last couple of nights, we've seen a full slate of action, and we've seen a couple of upsets. Georgia knocking off number
Let's go
3
Dogs!
Florida. Yeah, how about that? 88-83. Georgia being one of those teams just outside looking in. You had Tennessee win at LSU. Mississippi State gets beat by Alabama by 38 points. Alabama scored 111. They've scored over 80 in like 6 or 7 straight, I
Take
think,
the over
on the
with
road. Unbelievable. Missouri winning by 30 over South Carolina. Missouri is just a dominant team at home. Then the Wednesday action, you had Vanderbilt winning on the road at Texas A&M, getting themselves closer to possibly getting a bid in the NCAA tournament. Auburn, well, they smoked Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Auburn's really good. Kentucky escaped at Oklahoma in a great overtime game last night, especially because Arkansas covered. They beat Texas 86-81 in OT. All right, we'll start with our guest. Jessica, when you look at the SEC basketball action, what stands out to you from this, what is being deemed maybe the greatest SEC season ever?
I think the consistency of Auburn at this point and the understanding that amidst a very talented conference, there's clearly one that is going to be seen as the team to beat come tournament time, and that's Auburn and the insanity that is Janae Broom and in his race of player of the year going up against Cooper Flagg. And I know there's a lot of Duke people out there who think, well, Duke should be the #1 overall seed, but Auburn has made such a clear case, and coming from the SEC, I think that's carried a lot of weight. I also keep my eyes on Vanderbilt. I know it's not popular, but I started keeping my eyes on Vanderbilt in football season, and look what it provided for us with the upset of the century and Vanderbilt beating Alabama. They beat Texas A&M last night, 86-84, or 2 nights ago. And just the fact that you have a middle-of-the-pack team that makes me even pause to think, I wonder what they could do come tournament time, just speaks to the SEC in general.
Roser, you last week talked about Tennessee, and they were going on the road to face a ranked opponent in Texas Tech. Oh no, Texas A&M.
A&M, and they beat A&M.
And they beat A&M on the road. They get another road win last night. What have you seen from what you were looking for?
I still think Tennessee comes down to Lanier, and if he is going to score, I think this is when it comes tournament time. I feel like they're going to have offensive problems, and I think it comes down to the Lanier kid. When he struggles to score, their offense is going to struggle, and I think that's going to be the issue for them in the tournament. Is they may have a hard time hitting 50 in certain games in the tournament if Lanier's not scoring. I think Jessica hit it dead on with Auburn. It's how consistent that they have been is the story. Like, I watched that Auburn-Alabama game in Tuscaloosa, the 1-2, and Alabama's good.
Yeah.
And it was noticeable, obvious, watching just the eye test even. It's like, yeah, Auburn's at a totally different level here.
Yeah. They did it this against Ole Miss last night. Like
they beat by 40 last night.
But all these games, like Auburn just kind of hangs around, and then all of a sudden they make a run and it's over. Like, and they don't seem to struggle. Even that Alabama game was close for big part of the game, and Auburn was just patient.
They just felt like they were in control.
It's like 6 points, and then you look up, and it's like, oh, they're up 15 now. Wait,
Alabama
what?
feels the opposite to me. Like, Alabama's the one you're like they're like one step away from being a real championship team.
Yeah.
This morning in the car, my son was like, "Who would I pick number 1 in the March Madness?" I was like, "I think you got to go Auburn." Like,
yeah,
they've been the best team all year long, and they have arguably the best player in college basketball. I'd say Cooper Flagg's better, but Janai Broome has been awesome all season
He'll be the
long.
best player on the floor almost every night.
Yeah, unless they play Duke. So like I'd go with Auburn, I guess.
Yeah, and Florida's an interesting team too, losing to Georgia 88-83.
That's right.
Because some were even saying that Florida may be better than Auburn, which I don't see that because I'm with all of you on Auburn and what they've done this season. At least just eye test alone, I think Auburn is clearly the better team than Florida. But Florida, that was a surprising loss to Georgia. Big one for Georgia because they're on the bubble.
I don't think they're going to make the tournament.
I mean, as of now, there are only 2 teams that are clearly out: South Carolina and LSU.
Yeah. I mean, look, Georgia's 17-11, but they're 5-10 in the SEC. Like, and to me,
you had 2 teams last night that were 5-9 playing each other that were clearly on the bubble in Kentucky and Texas.
Kentucky's 8-7 in the SEC, but like 5-10. Like I don't. Can you be
or Arkansas and Texas? I'm sorry.
Can you have a 30 whatever win percentage in your conference and make the NCAA?
You can.
We're about to find out.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to make
Which
it.
I think is ridiculous.
I don't have any problem with them not making it. Like, Georgia's not good enough to win the NCAA tournament. Maybe they're one of the 68 best teams in the country. I don't know. Like, their guards aren't very good. They have the one kid, Newell, who's going to be like a lottery pick, but they're okay. Fun thing with Georgia is I was showing Rosa, we were watching it the other night. Randall Godfrey, you remember him? Linebacker, his son plays on Georgia, RJ Godfrey. Built just like his dad, like a linebacker, and he's fun to like. You know, in college, those guys can just be real muscular and big and just push kids around like that. He looks like an adult playing college basketball. And it's kind of fun to watch.
One other note: the Memphis Tigers they win their game against Rice last night.
That game was something.
84-72. They win by 12 and do not cover the 12 and a half.
What was it, 70-70?
Yes.
With 4 minutes to play.
Yeah. It was tied with 4 minutes left. Somehow they won by 12 and just fell short of the cover.
That was classic Memphis Tigers, though, because you look, if you don't watch the game, you look today, you're like, oh, they won by 12.
Right on the line. That's good enough, yeah.
It's a Rice team that's not very good. They won. Okay. If you watch the game, you're like, oh, my gosh, they're going to lose this game. Like, it was a 4-point game the whole second half. And they just kept sitting on that 4-point line.
Rice just couldn't get past them.
But Rice couldn't. Rice couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
They were scoring every time, and Rice was scoring every time. And then finally, like the last 3 minutes, they got a couple stops, strung it together, and won by 12. But that was not the performance we talked about the other day. Like, all right, they're going to do something. They got to blow some teams out. I don't think that qualifies.
Watching that game, there was a lot of frustration with the refs. I hate when that becomes the storyline coming out of something, but we talk about college officiating often, and it leaves a lot to be desired for improvement. And I thought last night was a perfect example of that. It felt like 2 different teams being officiated on the same court in an entirely different way. PJ Haggerty got really frustrated, got teed up eventually. But I thought the poise that the Tigers down the stretch, you saw Dane Danger, who had career-high 25 points. As my confidence grows in what the Tigers can ultimately do once it comes tournament time, it has been the emergence of Dane Danger. You know what they have in their guards in Haggerty and Hunter, but Danger's been awesome.
Yeah.
And then Nick Jourdain had a really great game offensively,
Like that
too.
I remember I told you last year, like he's the one guy I really
Yes.
like on that team.
He's the one guy back.
He's like a glue guy. Like he's like a
Yes.
perfect. You could see him playing in the NBA as like a 3-and-D glue guy, like a small forward who power forward guards on the perimeter, hits threes. Like that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
They won. It's all like that's the thing with the rest of this season. They have 3 regular season games left.
Just
win.
Get through them. They've got to hit threes when it comes to the tournament. They've been a great
2 games
3-point.
in a row where they haven't.
Yeah, they've been a great 3-point shooting team. They've been one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country all year. They shoot 39% as a team. That's going to be the case. That's going to be how they win in the tournament if they're going to go far. It's going to be because they pull upsets because they hit threes.
and isn't it like Danger's better because they're making threes? You know, like that spreads the floor out, gives him a
Yes.
little more
Yeah.
space to do things. When they're not making threes, you collapse on him and life gets hard.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break here on the Odds Couple. When we come back, we get into the Academy Awards. It is Oscars week, and this, of course, our 6th annual Oscars Spectacular here on the Odds Couple. We'll take a break, come back more on Grind City Media.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
They say main event Jey Uso was going to open the show. So they said they're starting to hear rumbles around the plaza level of Jey Uso. They're getting the crowd together to build up the main event Jey Uso entrance. Hey, 15,000 people together, yeeting in unison, 5-star. They are yeeting together.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Odds Couple. Week 6, or Chapter 6, Week 27 of the large program. Glad you are with us here today. It is our 6th annual Oscars Spectacular here on the show today. And joining us here on the show is Jessica Benson from the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt each morning here on Grind City Media. We thank her for being in with us here today, talking about the Oscars, because I want to do a scorecard to start things off. How many of the Best Picture movies have you seen this year? How many of the Best Picture movies have you seen this year? Lang?
I think Jessica's probably seen them all. I'm actually trying to find the list of them and not having success with that.
I can list them for you.
Well, I've seen Dune 2.
Yeah,
Oh, they're on
there they
screen.
are.
I've seen Dune 2. I've seen I'm looking through the list.
Oh, there you go. Good.
I saw the I haven't seen The Substance. I haven't seen The Brutalist. Complete Unknown is the Bob Dylan one. Didn't see that. Maybe it's just Dune 2 is the only one I've seen. No, Conclave. I watched Conclave the other day.
Oh, all right. So two. You
which
got
is actually
two.
happening right now.
What, huh?
It's about the Pope dying and trying to get a new Pope. And
Oh, yeah.
apparently, like,
That is
movie's
happening
coming
right
to
now.
life.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Pope
no.
slept peacefully last night, okay?
okay.
Pontifex.
That's what they keep saying. That's the language that they keep using. They're like,
I'm
the
not
Pope
saying I want
slept
the Pope-
peacefully. And
I'm
people are
not
like, you
saying I
can't
want the
say it
Pope
a
to
different
die.
way.
No kidding.
Usually we say the other thing peacefully.
Oh, man. Roser, how many have you
So
seen?
you're killing it.
The answer is zero.
Zero?
Zero.
Zero.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them.
My answer is also zero.
You
Oh,
haven't seen
great.
Dune? You guys didn't see Dune?
No, I haven't
No.
seen. I've seen
was
every
like a
child's
blockbuster
movie,
movie.
every children's movie.
Wicked?
this
Did
you
year.
see The Wild Robot?
I didn't see Wicked. They saw it without me, but I do want to see Wicked because I'm a big Wicked fan. It's my favorite musical. I would try to do it, but I better not. All right, so how many have you seen, Jess?
All of them.
No, it's funny. I've seen 8.
Okay.
This
Compared
is
to us,
the-
that's all of
That's
them.
out
This
of
is
10.
the first year I have freed myself from the burden of making sure absolutely 100% that I watch every single Best Picture nominee for the Oscars, which I have done since like 2002.
Wow.
Which is so funny with the passing of Gene Hackman and the Royal Tenenbaums. There were 2 movies that were kind of my foray into really caring about
I just like to use the word foray.
cinema.
Yeah.
And it was the Royal Tenenbaums, which was not nominated for Best Picture, but there were quite a few acting nominations for it. And then the other was Gosford Park, which had Dame Maggie Smith, and I just fell in love. Those are like my 2 adult movies. I think they're the first 2 rated R movies that I saw. And then that same year, the Best Picture nominees were A Beautiful Mind, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, Moulin Rouge, and a movie called In the Bedroom, which I was not allowed to watch because I was 10 years old. But that was it. Like, that was the beginning.
I
And
think
then
we
from
watched that
there
in
on,
sex ed.
I've watched pretty much everything. And this year, the thing I couldn't watch was The Brutalist. It's 3.5 hours long. I tried to go see it. I went out to Ridgeway one day, had a screen time and everything, got there. The screen was malfunctioning. They canceled the showing.
Sign from God.
And I was like, I can't see this. So I will watch it one day. People love it. People have told me, Jessica, I can't believe you haven't seen The Brutalist. And the other that I haven't seen is I'm Still Here, which is a Brazilian movie that is supposed to be wonderful as well. It's just been really hard to see. That's my issue with movies nowadays. They don't stay in theaters long enough. And then once they're available to screen, they're kind of expensive. And if you don't have the time to just sit down, there's so much good stuff on television that is for free on the subscription services that I pay for every month that it's hard for me to pull the trigger sometimes. So that's where I'm at. But I have watched 8 of 10, which compared to you guys,
That's amazing.
I'm an expert.
So I'm trying to. I'm serious. I'm looking at this and I'm trying to see if there's any of these movies that came out because I don't think I went to the theater in 2024. I don't think I saw a movie in the theater in 2024. And I'm looking at the top movies, like as far as box office.
Twisters?
I did watch Twisters. I watched it on HBO though. I watched it on Max. I didn't go to the theater.
That-
I
that
watched
was
it
on
on
the
Max.
See in theaters.
Yeah.
What a terrible original.
He hates Bill Paxton.
Oh, wow.
You hate Bill Paxton?
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Bill Paxton.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Why do you hate Bill Paxton?
It's not good.
Bill Paxton's great.
Yeah, he's a great American treasure.
Yeah.
Terrible.
He and Gene Hackman are chewing up the
It's not
scenery right now. In heaven.
It's not a person. It's a demon. That's Bill Paxton in the movie Frailty with Matthew McConaughey.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
So you don't like aliens?
No.
Weird Science?
True Lies.
Come on.
Apollo 13?
True Lies, Weird Science?
Come on, Apollo
True
13.
Lies was great. True Lies was
Apollo
great. I didn't see
13.
Apollo 13.
You don't really need to. You kind of know how it ends. You know? Like,
Does Wonka count? It came out at the end of 2023.
No, I've watched Wonka.
The Timothy Chalamet. I watched that. Yeah.
my son's favorite movie.
No, I didn't go to the
Wonka's
theater
okay.
though. I don't. I think it would be the first year in a while I
Could
never went to the
star
theater.
future Oscar winner Timothy
Yeah,
Chalamet.
that's true. I didn't see the. Some of these. To your point, Jessica, like a lot of these movies, it feels like they're in and out of the theater, and then they get lost in the kind of the morass of streaming services, and it's hard to find what's where, what you have to pay for, what you don't have to pay for, what's free. I watched Conclave for free on Peacock. I saw Dune 2 in the theater, but some of these other ones, like I'm not sure where they are, where they're not. One of them, Wicked, was I saw it on cable the other day listed, and I was like, oh, it's on here, and it was you had to buy it, so you have to pay like $25 to watch it. And I was like, I don't want to buy it. I'm gonna wait. And then I just saw the other day Wicked streaming somewhere like next week.
Max.
Yeah, somewhere for free. So like, there's all the. It's just confusing. Like nothing's.
Yeah.
We sound like the old people telling you to get off our lawns.
You really do.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah, we
I
do.
saw Wicked, Dune 2, and A Complete Unknown in theaters.
Is Dune 2, so to me, Dune 2 was, I saw that in the theater. Didn't see Dune 1. It's like a popcorn movie. It's fun. It's a big. But
Oh,
like,
I think it's a great technological
what makes it one of the
achievement.
10 best movies of the year?
I thought it was excellent. I thought it was like the sweeping, but those kind of movies don't do well
At the
usually
Oscars.
at award shows.
Right.
But they get nominated because there's a respect of what went into acting is great. The scenery, the music, the score, all of that comes together to make a
Yeah.
pretty impactful movie. I wouldn't call it a popcorn movie because I think it's like deeper than a popcorn movie.
It tries to be. It's like the parts that are black and white, you mean? Like, I mean, it has things that are like supposed to. I didn't see the first one, like I said. I was playing golf one day, and my wife texted me and said, "We are all going as a family to see Dune 2 at 2 o'clock at the place." And I was like, "Well, I'm on the golf course." She was like, "Yeah, you can make it in time." I said, "I didn't see Dune 1." She was like, "It's okay." And to be fair, Dune 2, I did sleep through about half of it, but I don't feel like I missed that much. Like, you kind of, it's like pretty cut and dried. Here's the good guys, here's the bad guys. Let's see who wins, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so.
I want to ask you about Wicked. As I said, I'm a huge fan
Jessica
of the
loved it.
Broadway show. So the movie, as a fan of the Broadway show, I know the music how I know the music.
Right.
I know the show how
What does
I
that
know the
mean?
show. Because you're gonna,
What does that
the
mean?
music's gonna change a little bit.
Yeah.
They're not
It's
gonna.
different voices. Like if you
Yeah, it's different voices. Yeah.
grew up
Adele
listening
Dazeem is not in the
to
movie.
if you grew up listening to Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, or went through life for 20 years listening to those two voices sing those songs, it is different to hear
Yeah.
Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. The
But-
thing about Wicked for me, I was so nervous. I'm a Wicked fan. I saw the original Broadway cast. I think I've seen it like 6 times in theater between Broadway and touring companies from Denver to Memphis. And I thought there's just no way that they can do enough where I actually really love this movie.
Right.
Exceeded all my expectations.
Really?
It's phenomenal. Yeah.
It's only part 1, right?
It's only part 1. Part 2 will come
Yeah.
out next year. But I thought it's the best movie musical we have had in decades.
Since Wonka.
Since Wonka. Everybody's talking about Wonka.
Wonka was pretty good.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a fine, more fun than I thought I'd have watching
So
Wonka.
a lot of times you talked about you take a nap watching this show. A lot of times in the morning when you're doing your show, I work from home and I'll try to find movies to put on in the background to like just kind of like stuff I've already seen to
Yes.
not be distracted. HBO the last like month has been doing this marathon of the original Charlie and the Chocolate, whatever it's called, Willy Wonka, the first one,
Yeah.
and then the Tim Burton one, and then the new one,
Oh, fun.
all in a row. So it's like 6 hours of just Wonka-ness. So I've been watching that a lot the last because I've seen it, like so you don't get distracted by it. But the one that everyone says right now is the best odds is Anora.
And that's my favorite movie of the year.
It was.
That's the one kind of winning all the current like the BAFTAs and the other stuff.
It's
right?
interesting because by this time, normally, we have a pretty good idea of who's going to win.
It
Best
was Amelia
Picture
Perez had all the buzz for a while.
months ago. I mean, at this
Yeah.
point, the Amelia Perez, there's nothing left. Like Zoe Saldana will probably win Best Supporting Actress, but and we can get into the controversy when we get
Let's
to
ask
there.
John Roser about that.
But they're not going to win anything.
About what? Amelia Perez?
But that really opened up a lot of. Once Amelia Perez was clearly out, it
Yeah.
kind of opened up this window of okay, who's going to become the front runner? It felt like The Brutalist for a period of time. Then it felt like Conclave might get
Yeah.
it. Now it feels that it's bubbling into Anora, and I think Anora has won the campaign. They've campaigned perfectly up to this point. Both Sean Baker, the director, the acting categories. Mikey Madison is up for Best Actress. And Honora is the first movie that I've watched in years where I said, I would like to go watch that movie again. It's a comedy. There's a lot of sex in it. So if you're out there, don't watch it with your parents.
Yeah.
Or your kids.
Someone that you're uncomfortable with. But if you can get past, like my first thought was there's no way Honora can win Best Picture. When I first watched it.
Yeah.
This movie won't win Best Picture because there are old people on the voting board at the Academy, and I'm not sure they can quite get over a Best Picture nominee or winner starting with the 20 minutes that is the beginning of Anora. But the more I've sat on it, the more I'm like, who cares? Like, it's a
Right.
great movie.
I tried to
And,
watch it last night, and you have to buy it for one of those. Like it wasn't just rentable or whatever.
Oh,
so
when I did it, you could rent it.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing too. It switches between. And don't get me started. Accessibility is the biggest issue for movies right now.
I did see Conclave, and I thought it was fine. Like and it's got for a while it had a lot of the buzz. I thought it was a little kind of flimsy, like for a story. It's like a pope dies, we need a new pope. Hey, all the popes are going to campaign to be the pope, because all the cardinals are campaigning because you try to get people to vote for you and stuff. And then
it's just a gossip movie.
And there's a weird twist at the end, and the twist at the end was kind of like, what?
That's where I don't think it lands the punch at the end. Whereas, like, I think the end of Anora, if you make it through that movie, the way that it ends, if I'm a voter, I'm moved to vote for a movie like that. I haven't seen the 3.5-hour Brutalist, but
Did you see The
like
Substance?
that. Yes.
Because that's getting a lot of talk too. Demi Moore is getting a lot of buzz.
I wanted to love The Substance. Like, I hate that I can't sit here and say The Substance was my favorite movie of the year because it feels so cool to like The Substance. And I have no issue with body horror, and that's what it is. Like, it's a disgusting movie. Like, it's gore for the sake of gore. You see a lot of blood. You see a lot of guts. You see a lot of weird food that I now don't see. Like Dennis Quaid eating shrimp at the beginning is just absolutely disgusting. And there's a lot of odes to horror movies of the past at the end, which I really appreciate. It just didn't hit with me the way that it hit with some others. I get that there's ageism. I get that being a woman, you're supposed to be young forever and the whole premise of it. And I thought it was a lot of heavy-hitting metaphors. There wasn't a lot of subtlety in the substance, which is cool. For Demi Moore, at this point in her career, it would be awesome to see a Best Actress win. I'll be curious if Anora enters sweeping status on Sunday. And so if that is the case, does that sweep Mikey Madison into a win over Demi Moore? Once Demi Moore won the Golden Globe, it was like she was a dark horse at that time, and then she's become the front runner. So we'll see.
All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to look at the betting odds for the categories, and we're going to ask you to pick who would you vote for and who do you think is going. Who would you bet on? Exactly, two very different questions.
Yeah, it's different.
We will do that when we return. It's our 6th annual Oscar Spectacular here on The Odds Couple, and we're back after this on Grind City Media.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball. But the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. A class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
We got Southern Heritage Classic news. Mike, Tennessee State out. Where do you think the Classic goes from here? Is this a thing that sort of dooms this Classic, Southern Heritage Classic?
I don't ever bet against Fred Jones. I don't count Fred Jones out. You have to have the event. You have to continue to have the weekend, and a football game has to be part of it.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Odds Couple. Coming up still here on the large program, we got some fish nuggets coming your way. Also, we got some free picks coming your way as well. So that's all ahead here on The Odds Couple. But first, we want to get our Oscars picks for Sunday. Sunday from 6 to 9 is when the 97th Academy Awards will take place, and that's why we have Jessica Benson in with us today to talk about these movies, because she's seen 8 of the 10.
Expert.
An expert, yes. And we are not. We combined saw 2. The three of us
Doesn't mean
saw
we're not
2.
experts.
That doesn't mean we're not experts.
And by combined, do you mean one of the 3 of you saw 2?
One of the 3 of us saw 2, yeah.
It
But
is
I
true.
like how you looped yourself in there.
Thank you. All right, first we start with the Best Picture. The Best Picture for the Oscars. Anora is the favorite at minus 260, followed by Conclave at plus 240, then a big drop-off to The Brutalist at plus 650. We already discussed Anora was your favorite of the year. It is the favorite to win this category. Do you believe it will?
I do.
You do.
I believe at this point that Anora is the film to beat on Sunday. Now, if anyone were to do it, would likely be Conclave coming off of this past weekend. You look at all of these races, and it's the award season in its totality that gives you some kind of an idea of what could happen. Anora won Critics' Choice, Directors Guild, and Producers Guild, but Conclave won at BAFTA and SAG. And what that tells me, especially on the SAG side at least, a lot of actors voted for Conclave. Now, actors are what make up the majority of the governing body of the Academy, but it's not alone. And the thing about the Academy Awards is it's ranked choice. So how many people are putting it 1, 2, 3, 4? Ultimately, I think we end up with Anora at the top. At this point, The Brutalist feels to have fallen off. I thought there might have been a late surge for A Wicked or A Complete Unknown, but that feels out of the question. If you're going to bet on something Best Picture-wise, it's probably Anora.
But Anora, all right. Best Director. Best Director, Sean Baker from Anora, also the odds-on favorite, minus 210, but a little closer here with Brady Corbett from The Brutalist at plus 179, and then a huge drop-off after that. Does Anora get the sweep?
This is where I think there's still value in Brady Corbett. We have moved past the point where Best Director automatically leads you to who's going to win Best Picture. You used to watch the Oscars on a Sunday, and once you found out who was going to be Best Director, you're like, okay, well, I know it's going to be Best Picture. We don't really live in that world anymore, and Sean Baker has been the most successful amongst the award shows, most recently winning at the BAFTAs. I would take...
What about James Mangold? He's like an old... He's been around Hollywood for a while. He's done a lot of movies. You know, people probably know him.
29 to 1.
Here's the interesting thing with A Complete Unknown, and we'll get to Best Actor when we get there, but they're at the risk of being the latest big budget, big promotion, big expectation movie to go over at the Academy Awards. We had it last year in, oh God, why can't I think of the name of it? The one that was based on the Osage people.
Not
Osage
August,
County. That's what I was about to say. Yes, the Scorsese movie with Lily Gladstone. And
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Thank you. Happened with
John
them.
Reiser comes up with
Happened with The Irishman a few years back. You get these movies that the assumption is, well, they're up for so much, they have to win at least one, and sometimes they don't. And it kind of is trending in that direction for A Complete Unknown.
All right, then we move to Best Actor. The favorite on Best Actor is Adrian Brody at minus 210. Then we have Chalamet at plus 150, and then a huge drop-off after that. Are they the 2 favorites, and which way would you go?
Timothée Chalamet has given everything for this Oscars campaign. Like, he has thrown himself into hosting SNL, both musical act and guest host. He recently did an interview with Kendrick Lamar. He has been seen everywhere. He's done everything. And then when he wins the SAG, he gets up there and he flat out says, like, I want to be great. I want to be Daniel Day-Lewis. I want to be Michael Phelps. I want to be the next Michael Jordan. This means something to me. I worked 5 years for this. I actually think it's probably for the best that he gave that speech at the SAGs, and because of how the award shows are structured this year, the voting already had to be in for the Academy Awards, so that couldn't rub anyone the wrong way. Sometimes actors have egos, and they just want people to get up there and like, play. Oh no, shocking. And be like magnanimous with others, and for Timothée Chalamet to get up there and be like, no, I want this. That's kind of an unusual thing, but there's, with Adrian Brody too, there was a story early on in the award show cycle, and if he loses, it won't be because of this, but it did at least start this conversation of could he be beat? they used AI for just a very small moment of his Hungarian accent in The Brutalist. It's not for the entirety of it, but it was. And then it got into this conversation of AI and art, and they used it for some of the architecture in the film as well. It will not be the reason that he loses if he does. There's also, Adrian Brody has won Oscar, and he won it for The Pianist. Like, is Adrian Brody really going to enter the territory of two-time Oscar winner Adrian Brody? And Timothée Chalamet is very clearly like our next great generational superstar. So do they give it to him early? Oftentimes they make people like work for it. Like, you got to be around the industry. You got to have like
ballot guy.
8 nominations before we give you. And this is his second nomination because he was nominated for Dune 1. So I think he wins it. I really do think we're looking at a Timothée Chalamet
Who even knew
win.
that Alan Iverson could do a Hungarian accent? She said AI did that.
No, not Allen Iverson.
Oh.
No, that was never AI.
But also the Chalamet thing, like
Chalamet.
He's trying so hard to be a star, and I mean, you watch it and you're like, all right, like at least
think
he's
he
trying.
is.
Yeah, he is. But
Yeah.
he's like, so many people are like, they're like, I don't want to seem like I'm trying. You know what I mean? Like they're like, I'm too cool for this. He doesn't care. He's like, I'll do whatever. Like, throw it at me. Let's go. I'll host
He's got the
SNL.
girlfriend too.
He's
He's dating one of the Jenners. Like
Yeah.
he's
a theater
he's
kid.
out there. Yeah,
He's literally like him and Ariana Grande. This is a big moment for theater kids. Like, that's what they were. They are unapologetic in their love of their art and wanting to talk about it all the time, and it's their entire identity. And it's turned into very successful careers for them.
For
at this
Chalamet,
point.
though, on the flip side, he is a Knicks fan. So we might have to like deduct some points for that.
He is a
That's
Knicks
true.
fan.
That's true. All right, Best Actress. Demi Moore is the favorite at minus 240 in The Substance, and Mikey Madison second, plus 185, and then you got a drop off from there.
If you want to make a risky bet,
Yep.
this is a betting show.
Yep.
I
That's,
did my-
that's why we got you here.
No, not Amelia Perez. My God.
That'd be a risky bet.
Fernando Torres
16-1.
is getting all the buzz. There are a lot of, you know how I just said actors make up the majority of the
Yep.
governing body? There are a lot of actors who loved Fernando Torres's performance in I'm Still Here. And again, it's that ranked choice voting.
Yep.
So if she's getting a bunch of number ones, that could be big. If it goes the other direction, Demi Moore has been the front runner through the latter half of the award season, but I'm looking at Mikey Madison as someone who is on screen significantly more than Demi Moore. We just had this situation, and I hadn't really thought of it this way. I was listening to Matt Bellamy on The Puck, did an Oscars preview, and they were talking about how last year all the buzz was for Lily Gladstone of Killers of the Flower Moon to win, and then Emma Stone ended up beating her. And what it came down to was Emma Stone was in every single scene of Poor Things versus Lily Gladstone, who was almost a supporting role to Leonardo DiCaprio. Demi Moore in the middle of The Substance, without giving anything away, like, it becomes a split 50-50 with her and Margaret Qualley. So she's not in the movie nearly as much as Mikey Madison is in Anora. So if it comes down to between those two, and if you looked at the trend of last year, it would behoove you to think Mikey Madison would win over Demi Moore. But then there's also the Fernando Torres of it. That's probably the best sleeper pick you could
I was
make.
looking at some film expert, his picks last night, and I forget who it was, but he had Fernando Torres winning this. So maybe that's a good one at 16-1 for sure. Then we have our Best Supporting Actress and Best Supporting Actor. Zoe Saldana, am I correct there?
Yes.
She is the odds-on favorite to win Best Supporting Actress, with Ariana Grande being second at 10-1.
You think that Amelia Perez might get shut out?
No, because I think Zoe Saldana was so good, and she has, for whatever reason, like, not been
She's
looped
bulletproof
into
to the whole thing? Yeah.
the failure that has turned into Amelia Perez, and it's almost like we don't blame her for being a part of this, and she is really good in it. Like, Amelia Perez is what it is. Without further throwing dirt on the grave of Amelia Perez, it was just not a great movie seen by many people. But Zoe Saldana
How
was
did
really
it get
good in
nominated
it.
for Best Picture?
I really don't.
If it was not a great
No.
movie seen by many people, that feels
And
like
every movie, I listen to a lot of movie podcasts because I'm
that's your word.
like, I go to a movie and I want to listen to my favorite movie podcast, talk about it afterwards. And just searching for anybody who was saying good things about Amelia Perez. Nobody was. So it is an odd, there's just so much to it. It's a Spanish language movie musical directed by a French man about the Mexican drug cartel. And there has been so much scandal with it that there wasn't an appropriate like review of the history of Mexican drug cartels, and this French director said, well, my version of Mexican drug cartels is the correct version. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then its lead actress, who is the first trans woman to ever be nominated for Best Actress. Unfortunately, she is also maybe the most racist trans person on planet Earth. I'll give her that designation. She's going to be at the award show on Sunday now. She hasn't been at any of the award shows. They really distanced themselves. They took her off of the billboard and the campaign materials, and it was the whole thing. Netflix wasn't going to pay for her to go. And now apparently they are. But I don't think all of that can take away from Zoe Saldana winning for Best Supporting, even though I'd give it to Ariana Grande if you're asking me who I want to win the award.
Okay. For the men, Kieran Culkin, he is odds-on favorite, followed by Ed Norton.
The funniest thing possible.
What's Ed Norton in?
Complete Unknown.
Oh.
The funniest. I always root for the funniest thing possible.
Sure.
The funniest thing possible would be for Jeremy Strong to win for The Apprentice. Because Jeremy Strong and Kieran Culkin were castmates on Succession, and notoriously, they don't really like each other in real life. It's not like they hate each other, but there's like a sides here and there. Jeremy Strong is a method actor. He's a real dramaturg.
Seems
and
like
Kieran
everyone
Culkin
loves
Kieran Culkin just shows up and is like, I'm just gonna be me. Like this character, I don't prep for anything. Whatever. Kieran Culkin will probably win, but I think it'd be there is some buzz around Jeremy Strong, and there was obviously some love for The Apprentice. His co-star Sebastian Stan got a nomination as well.
It's the Donald Trump movie.
It is.
Yeah.
But Kieran
What about Guy
Culkin
Pearce?
will probably win. I haven't seen
Hollywood
The
star.
Brutalist, so I can't speak on his performance.
People seem to love Kieran Culkin though. Like,
They do.
I've heard a bunch of other podcasts and like all the people talk, not movie podcasts, just Hollywood, and the people all talk about how much they like Kieran Culkin and what a fun guy he is and all this stuff.
He's just a dude.
All right. Let's take a break. We'll come
What
back.
about the nuggets?
We got some fish nuggets when we
Yeah.
come back. We'll do
I
that
want
when we
the
come back.
nuggets.
We'll get fish nuggets. They are Oscars related. And and we will have free picks before we get out of here today. We just gave you a bunch of free picks for the Oscars, thanks to Jessica Benson. We'll be back with more of the Odds Couple here on Grind City Media.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
They say main event Jey Uso was going to open the show. So they said they're starting to hear rumbles around the plaza level of Jey Uso. They're getting the crowd together to build up the main event Jey Uso entrance. Hey, 15,000 people together, yeeting in unison, 5-star. They are yeeting together.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Odds Couple here on this Thursday afternoon, our Oscars Spectacular. And we want to thank you for tuning in. And, of course, you can tune in to the Odds Couple each Monday and Thursday at 2 o'clock. Monday, we'll recap the weekend gone by. And on Thursdays, look ahead to what's coming up this weekend. Of course, this weekend is the Oscars, Sunday night from 6 to 9 p.m. That brings us to today's Fish nuggets.
Yeah, nuggets.
Yeah.
Nuggets.
Sorry. Yeah, all right.
Usually CJ does all these sound effects. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The Academy introduced a new stipulation in 1950 that all potential winners must sign an agreement to offer the statuette back to the Academy for $1 before they try to sell it to someone else. If they don't accept this, then they aren't allowed to keep the trophy. How about that?
I think we talked about that before.
I think we did. We did. The longest standing ovation in Academy Awards history. Do you know who it was for?
Marlon Brando.
Oh, good guess. It was 12 minutes long when Charlie Chaplin received an honorary Oscar in 1972.
How about that? The silent movie star got the longest standing ovation.
Yeah. How about that?
You
12
finally
minutes.
heard something for the first time.
Ironic.
12 minutes. That's a little excessive.
Yeah.
The films that have won the most Academy Awards throughout history are Ben-Hur, Titanic, and Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. All of them winning 11 Oscars each.
Yeah.
How about that? The only sequels.
Titanic. Crazy. The boat sank.
That's another one you can be like, I kind of know how it's going to end.
Yeah.
Another love story, though.
Rose.
Yeah.
Sick. The only sequels to win Best Picture have been Godfather Part 2 and Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, 2003. Those are the only
Godfather
two
Part 2
sequels.
starring Gene Hackman.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if it's the third, that counts as a sequel too?
Duvall. It's Tom Hagen.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it's
my
a
bad.
sequel to the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Return of the King was the third one.
Yeah.
Two Towers. It's the second one. That was my favorite of the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah?
I like the Two Towers.
Never pegged
yeah.
you as a Lord of the Rings guy.
Yeah, I'd like to partake in the ganja in high school. So, I mean, I got down with the Lord of the Rings movies.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how it does now. I haven't watched them in years, but
Don't remember it from back then.
if I remember, I think probably smoked some weed in high school or a little bit at like early college, and I watched some Lord of the Rings and be like, this is freaking awesome. I don't know what I would think anymore. I might think the Lord of the Rings, if I watch them now that it's just stone cold sober, I may think those movies suck, but at the time they were great.
You'll have to do that test. You gotta watch. All right, only 3 animated feature films have ever been nominated for Best Picture. Beauty and the Beast in 1991. Saw that one. Up in 2009.
Saw that, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Come on, everybody saw Up.
And Toy Story 3. I saw that.
Toy Story 3 was awesome.
Which one
it
was
really
3?
was.
Is that when they go in the trash compactor at the end?
Yeah, the big.
Is that 4?
No, it's
That was
the big.
3's when Andy goes to college.
Yeah. And what's
They all
the name
kinda
of the
run.
giant? It smells like strawberries. The bad.
Strawberry shortcake?
No. Here, I'll find it.
All right.
All right.
The youngest person to win an Oscar.
Oh, I got to know. Shirley Temple.
No. Oh, good guess.
Judy
though.
Garland.
No.
No, but recently in the news.
Tatum O'Neal.
Lotso.
Tatum O'Neal.
Lotso.
She wasn't in her dad's
Yeah,
will.
Lotso Bear.
Ryan O'Neal left her out of the will. I was obsessed with this family when I was younger.
She was married to John McEnroe, wasn't she? Yeah.
There was like a John McEnroe, Tatum O'Neal 2020 interview with Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
It's dramatic.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
I miss
like a
those
lot of
Barbara.
tea.
You know, we were a better society when we got those 2020. Barbara Walters held people to the fire. Drake would have been on Barbara Walters
fire.
2020 by now, but we don't have anyone doing it anymore.
No.
It's not
Now
the
it's like
same.
Shannon Sharp.
It's not the
It
same.
really
Holding
is. You're going
people
to
to
Club
the
Shay
fire.
Shay.
Club
Just
Shay
going to
Shay.
talk to Barbara Walters. Now you're on Club
Barbara
Shay
Walters to
Shay.
Club Shay Shay.
The person who's won the most Academy Awards in the acting categories is Katharine Hepburn with 4 Oscars for Best Actress. Meanwhile, Meryl Streep holds the record for most nominations in the acting categories with 21 of them.
Dang.
She has 3 wins with 21 nominations. Wow. And Jack Nicholson holds the record for most acting nominations for a male actor, having received 12. Also holds the record for most acting wins by a male actor, tied with Daniel Day-Lewis and Walter Brennan, with 3 Oscar wins each. All right, there
impressive.
you go. Fish nuggets today on this Oscars spectacular. All right, free picks before we get out of here. Anybody got some free picks?
Yeah, I'm going to take North Texas plus the 1.5 on the road tonight at FAU. I feel like this is the Tigers snatched the soul of FAU. I feel like North Texas is still something to play for. North Texas gets a road dub.
All right, beautiful. Good one.
I can't name you a player on either team.
That's all right. Doesn't matter as long as you win. It's
And
cool.
the Penguins money line against the Flyers.
Okay, Lang.
I was looking through some of these. Northeastern is playing North Carolina A&T. Northeastern's favored by 10.5 at home. Let's go Northeastern.
Go Northeastern.
Yeah.
All right.
We didn't even talk about University of New Orleans.
What did they do?
They got
another betting scandal.
They had a
hammered?
betting scandal.
Oh, they're the ones. They had
Yeah.
2 players kicked off the team.
Four, I
think?
believe.
4.
And then they hired Master P to be the general manager of their basketball program.
Oh,
So it feels like
one does.
I don't know, one move this way, one the other way.
yeah. All right.
Well,
Jess, you got a free pick?
I'm going to go to women's basketball.
Okay.
I'm going to take Notre Dame over Florida State tonight. Notre Dame lost to NC State in a double OT game over the weekend, gave up 104 points. But they've only lost 2 in a row, one other time this season, and I think a big bounce back for Notre Dame.
Coach Ivy.
Yeah, go Irish. I got a couple. I got Rutgers plus the 10.5 at Michigan tonight. That's my play of the day.
Oh.
And then my other place, North Texas.
You like North Texas
I'm
too?
on North Texas tonight.
Yeah.
And one of my other ones
Mean
tonight that I
Green.
love is Samford minus the 8.5 against VMI.
Okay.
Samford minus 8.5 against VMI.
What was your
It's a
first one you
military school.
gave? What was your first one? Rutgers?
Rutgers plus
Does
the
that not
10.5.
worry you? Hasn't Rutgers been a big
Yes, they've been a
disappointment?
disaster.
Yeah. So
But
you're going to take him against Michigan.
tonight.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
But it's my play of the day. I'm just saying. Trust it. Trust it.
All right.
all right.
That's
Can't
going to do
trust
it
you.
for us here today on the Odds Couple. Thank you, John
Thanks,
Roser.
Jessica. Yep.
Thank you,
Woo!
Jessica. We appreciate you.
Always fun.
That was
Thanks
great.
for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you putting a pause in your nap to be able to join us here today. I know the feeling. Lang, thank you, sir. For Roser, for Lang, for CJ, who'll be back with us next week, and we'll be back on Monday for the Odds Couple from 2 to 3. Join us then. I'm Rob Fisher. We'll talk to you on Monday here on Grind City Media.